So this is an iteration of Hardened Scales that's kind of leaning into the fact that, like, we're playing Horizon Canopy and Mox Opal anyways, so we can kind of enable a second splash color. And we've got some Path to Exile, some Ethersworn Canonist, some Dromoka's commands, other goody white cards in here. So we've played some green-white scales iterations of the past. We've also played some mono-green scales. You can find all those past videos on my YouTube channel, my website, as always. And let's dive in here and see how it feels. No Stonies or rips off our white splash. I actually think Ethersworn Canonist is a really sweet card in this deck because most of our spells are artifacts. Ethersworn Canonist is basically one-sided in this deck, right? Like, it's a card that, like, slows our opponent down but doesn't slow us down, so it's, like, great against what's it called? What decks do you want Canonist where you don't want Damping Sphere? Blue-white control? Yeah, you break the symmetry of the card, basically. Is Ajani, Ravager, and Overseer number 5? Yeah, kinda. Again, this is, like most things we do on this channel, this is a viewer-submitted deck list. I don't really have thoughts and feelings on the specifics of this deck. We played things close to this before. Ajani seems fine in the sideboard. This is like some people play Corporate Karn in this slot, the 4-mana Karn, and this generates card advantage in, like, kind of a similar way. The Ninja deck was very bad. Yeah, he doles out 1/1 counters too. Got a lot of on-point synergy here. What role does Throne play in this deck? So Throne is an additional sacrifice outlet in addition to Arcbound Ravager to allow you to, like, crack your Hangarback Walker. And it also just, like, charges all your stuff up. So it's like a split card where sometimes it's like an extra Steel Overseer and sometimes it's an extra Arcbound Ravager. Stream Decker is an A+ suggestion. Gotta update the stream title too. So I'm, like, super off my game on a Sunday night. It's late, chat. It's, like, almost my bedtime. Since I started streaming full-time, do you remember your longest win/loss streak? Well, I don't think we've ever 5-0'd back-to-back, so, like, my longest win streak by that measure has to be, like, 9 matches. At 7:24. It's midnight somewhere, Cubs fan. It's midnight somewhere. I'm on the draw. This hand's really good with a second land. Yeah, in my experience playing the traditional, like, mono, whatever it's called build, mono green build, it has felt better than traditional Affinities felt. It has more play to it. It has both similarly good nut draws and also has a lot of go over the top draws still. Oh, could be 13 matches. Sure, we could win 4 and then 5 and then 4. It's good. Good catch. Good catch. So if we hit a land, this Walking Ballista is shaping up to be very good. It's funny. I always think it's funny when people ask me, they're like, you look tired. It's like, I'm a parent. Tired is like a state of being. You know the turnaround time for selling tickets to MTGO traders? I don't offhand. Shannon, can you please play the blue-white control deck that top 8'd? Which one, Shannon? There are actually multiple blue-white decks in the top 8 of the Grand Prix. Does this deck normally play Collar? No, that's kind of a spicy card in this particular iteration. This is a lot of damages, chat. This is a lot of damages. Things are not looking good for our hero. And thank you for the support, Shannon. I appreciate that. It was a bad game to miss land drops, chat. The one from SCG today. Yep, will do. Does the one from SCG have 4 Terminus in it? Does. God bless. I am so happy that the 4 Terminus builds have been the one that have been doing well. Makes me feel so validated as a person. No. So, animation module is pretty slow here. That's probably not a Throne of Geth matchup. It's a Welding Jar matchup. They're probably bringing in ways to kill my stuff, right? They probably have, like, bolts and stuff, too. What are my trims here? What are my trims? I mean, like, what am I cutting? Again, sideboarding's a 1-to-1 process, chat. I already have 4 more cards I need to cut to fit stuff in. Yeah, that's true. Like, Collar's probably better against bigger things. That's 3 more cuts I need. That's true. Alright, let's do this. I think Hangarback Walker is pretty good, especially with Arcbound Ravager. The fact that this hand is 2 Horizon Canopies and it feels pretty bad here. I'm pretty confident Nature's Claim is great here. It's a card that can just, like, straight up gain us 4 in a pinch, and they also have, like, Beaumont Courier and stuff in their deck that we can destroy with it. Ajani's good when you want to grind. It's a card advantage card. Pretty sure I want to just jam Arcbound Ravager here. Sure. So I'm going to go block here, sack the worker, make my Ravager a 3/3. So the Ravager gives itself a counter, and then the modular gives it a counter. So I take nothing. We get to eat their Legion Loyalists. I end up with a 3/3. Seems like a pretty decent exchange for us. Play my Steel Overseer out here. Pass the turn. Just happens to be the slice of the people who are hitting on Magic Online. It's gonna be a Bushwhacker to follow this up. It's pretty good. I think I'm gonna go ahead and block Reckless and then take 4 here. That's just confirmation bias. It's good old nothing like good old-fashioned confirmation bias. Jay Muscle Man, thank you for the 14-month resub there. I appreciate it. TCG players and poker players, card players in general, just like the worst groups of people when it comes to confirmation bias. Just all about that confirmation bias lifestyle. Sure, why not? Kick it. Do 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 do. 5 to go. Thank you, Cloud, for the 713 subscription there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. All right, Jajin Malaysia. Yeah, I definitely think that's part of it, G-Goat. They think we're gathering data. Exactly. And, like, Magic Online is, like, the worst for that as far as confirmation bias is concerned, because people are always like, you know, like, Magic Online lets you play so many matches of Magic in such a condensed fashion that, like, it's very easy to be like, oh, I got flooded and screwed so many times on Magic Online because, like, as humans, we're, like, super programmed to, like, remember the things that are bad and, like, not remember the things that are good that happen to us on average. That's fine. And then if they attack with both of these things here, I'll charge with Steel Overseer, crack the Hangarback Walker, block both their things. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and claim my Hangarback Walker here, just like game 3. That should be lethal, right? Very, very lethal. I think I'm happy with what we did. Let's run it back. I'm going to turn my Dromoka's command and bring this Welding Jar back in. Just like regenerating on a block even is fine. Yep, we've played Mono White Martyr in the past. It is aggressively mediocre. You can find the archives as always on the YouTube channels. Sand is sweet. Turn 1, Scales. Turn 2, Walking Ball probably. Welcome to Live One Pox. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Maybe a good Monday, depending on where you're at in the world. Welcome. Alright, so Beaumont Courier on 1. That kind of makes me want to just Nature's Claim here. I think I just Nature's Claim here. Just like go claim into Spellskite, into Hardened Scales plus Ballista on 3. I am currently standing. I have a sit-stand desk, so I can split my time while I stream sitting and standing. Evolutionary Leap is used to grind card advantage. So Evolutionary Leap with Hangarback Walker is very, very good. This is an aggressive turn. Do-da, do-da. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I think I'm gonna just do this. Is that greedy? Should I just play the Walking Ballista and kill the Signal Pest? Probably. I should probably just do this. And like potentially kill 2 things this turn too if they get too feisty. Tomon, Tom Man, thank you for the 10-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. That's very good. So if I don't shoot a 3-1 here, I take 7. I think I'm probably just supposed to shoot a 3-1 here. Go to 8 and then like play Arcbound plus Hangarback. And like I have a Inkmoth Nexus kill very quickly here. As soon as next turn even. I need to count, but I think that might be dead as early as next turn. The Ballista could not block because of Earthshaker Kenrish trigger. Yeah, they're dead, right? So this is worth 6 1/1 counters. This is 7, 8, 9, 10, Yes, they're dead to Inkmoth next turn. Opponent said good games opponent. Yeah, they're actually dead without even bidding the Skite, right? Because I can activate the Steel Overseer. It's just like super clean. This deck's really impressive. It kills very quickly. The math is all on board, so like people that understand how to play against the deck are going to be able to count it as well. But it adds up very quick and like very closes games out aggressively. While we're waiting for the next match this league to pop, I'd just like to thank everyone for hanging out here. Welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I focus primarily on Magic and Modern. I'm here 30 plus hours a week, primarily on the weekdays during the day. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. I stream Magic because I love it, but my subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full-time. I wouldn't be here as often as I am without their very wonderful support. Past subscribing, you can also support my content by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. MTGOtraders.com. I love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. BCW Supplies would love to help you protect your very valuable gaming singles and accessories. They do deck boxes, sleeves, mats, all sorts of great stuff there. And you can use code Jeff10 at bcwsupplies.com to save 10% on your orders. And finally, Lisa would like to get you on your way to a better night's sleep. Chris and I have been sleeping with Lisa for the last 3 months now, and we really enjoy it. I don't think we'd ever go back to a traditional pillow top mattress. You can save $160 or more on your new Lisa mattress by checking out links bit.ly/HoagleBedUS and bit.ly/HoagleBedCA. We are 1-0 in this league, heading down into the second match with green splash white scales. Seems like not amazing because it doesn't have a hardened scales on one, but like the rest of the spells that it has are pretty reasonable, so definitely keep. Get to play the other busted 1-mana green card on one here. Yep, yeah, we are closing in very quickly on the SCG Con goal. At 80% here after a little over... After about 3 weeks. 2 weeks? 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. That is a Mox Opal. That is a Basilisk Collar. I'm going to take Basilisk Collar here, actually. The Mox Opal doesn't really accelerate me into anything relevant, does it? So if I take the Mox Opal, next turn I go Darksteel Citadel 2-drop. That doesn't really help me at all. I'm gonna take the Basilisk Collar. If they have larger creatures, they'll be very good with Walking Ballista. I think the upside on the Opal is pretty minimal, and the potential upside on the Collar could be very big. More basic mountains. Simian Spirit Guide. Oh no! Oh no! At least we don't really care about Blood Moon here, which is nice. Rabble Master. That card's scary. I do kind of care about that one. Play this Dorko out. So we're going to take a hit for a total of 7 off of this. Next turn, I'll be able to go Walking Ballista for 1, plus Activate Overseer, and then double shoot Goblin Rebel Master. We're going to play the blue-white deck list from the top 8 of the SCG Open. Card for card. Card for card, be a dirty, filthy nut decker. You got me. I've been Blood Mooned. I will stop casting my spells. JK. JK, I've got basics, dog. Just like 10 out of 10, just like cashing this in here. Like they have 2 1/1s left, they just like have absolutely nothing. Yeah, the fact that this deck doesn't care a whole ton about Blood Moon is great. I agree with that. Darksteel Citadel should still be indestructible, right? No, it's still an artifact, but it's destructible? I don't remember, actually. Magic's like onions. It's full of layers, chat. There's so many layers, chat. I like how they just, like, didn't attack. God bless. Oh, Twitch chat. Oh, Twitch chat. Why didn't I play Arcbound Worker? Oh, no. Oh, no, I forgot to play Arcbound Worker. Will I ever win the game now? Derpa derpa derpa. I know your views on competitive versus friendly leagues, but I'm gonna say this thing, crapping on friendly leagues, talking about the deck that literally 5-0s competitive leagues pretty frequently. Derpa derpa derpa. Whoa, that's a little bit of a loose goose play. All right, how about if we make him a 5/5 instead? Was it better to go Ballista Ravager there? Nah, dog. Here's a pro tip, chat. If you're going to lie about something, make sure that your lie isn't easily verifiable as wrong. Unless your goal is to become president, in which case, you know, you do you and you'll be just fine. Dum da dum da dum da 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 da. Bum da dum bum bum da dum bum bum da dum bum bum. All right, I think we're gonna be good here. Even if they like rip a bridge at this point, we get to just like burn them out with Walking Ballista via the Steel Overseers. I wouldn't be old enough to run for president in 2024. I am cute for the Invitational. How long should you stick with one deck till you get bored? You should play Magic in the way that lets you most enjoy playing Magic. So, if you're having fun playing a deck, keep playing it. That could be your first lie. I know I have the hairline of a 40-year-old, but I am definitely 27. They were dead no matter how we slice that. Huh. I guess I bring in Nature's Claim, but I think I just like trim some 1-drops as a head shear against Chalice on 1. I don't really have a ton of extra ways to like get through a Blood Moon or get through an Ensnaring Bridge. It's fine, I'm married, I don't need hair. Man, the timeout for not thinking. I got you, punk. Walking Ballista and basic lands. This seems like pretty good against a lot of their hate pieces, right? Like, doesn't really care about Chalice, doesn't really care about Blood Moon. Well, yeah, the hair that grows on your face has to come from somewhere, chat. You got me. Not gonna cast any of these 1-mana spells. Beards are nasty. Take a 10-minute break. Man, look at how powerful their deck is. Doing such strong things over there. Oh, Bolas, we haven't done Warhammer yet. We'll see how long these leagues take. We had someone do a cut the line for blue-white control, so I might not have time to do another league tonight. You got an ensnaring bridge. Ip ip cheerio, mate. What's Warhammer? Warhammer, Games Workshop licensed out the Warhammer Fantasy IP to a Warhammer TCG that released this summer that has a digital variation that's out on Android and iOS as well that I've streamed a little bit. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's really sweet. Oh, I have a video I can link now. I made a how to play video. Put that on a command. How much do the ads that say support Jeff Hoagland actually help? Don't feel bad about ad blocking, especially if you're subbed. You should never feel bad about ad blocking if you're subbed to a channel. And actually, if you're subbed to my channel, you shouldn't. You shouldn't get ads actually. That should be toggled off. Aardvarks, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. What if I'm subbed and I really want ads? I don't actually think I can turn that back on just for specific people. I don't think that's an option. Good. Yeah, you shouldn't get ads. Yeah, so they're adding ads to Twitch Prime in general, but every channel has a setting that can turn off ads for people that are subscribed to them. FSVN and Aardvarks, thank you for the brand new subs there, both Twitch Prime and Tier 1. Thanks for keeping me employed this month. I appreciate that. I guess I should start. Welding Jar doesn't actually do anything at the moment. So let's play out the old Walking Ballista. Are they dead to Inky Boy? I actually didn't do that math. Yeah, I probably should have done that math. I don't know. That like loses to an Abrade. I think I'd rather not lose to an Abrade. I'm gonna kill them with this Walking Ballista very quickly, right? Like Sans like a Sorcerer Spyglass. They're gonna die pretty quick to this Dorko. I can Throne their Chalice. I totally can Throne their Chalice, can't I? That's a good call. That's really funny. I forgot about that. That's something they're doing in Legacy. Can't Throne their Chalice anymore. That's fine. Are they dead next turn? I think they're dead next turn, right? Oh, they're actually just like super dead to the Inkmoth Nexus, right? What if we killed you through your stupid bridge? Nice deck. This deck always seems so medium. I don't know why people play. Well, I do, because I like playing Blood Moon for whatever reason. Lots of roads are leading to Rome here. They just have no mana up here. So they did. You put them on 9 infect and then kill them with Walking Ballista. Every time we play this deck, the match wins feel really clean. It's definitely one of the more, like, on a raw power level, one of the more powerful archetypes we've played recently. Both the mono green list and the green white list feel very trim, very efficient. And this list isn't even that far off of, like, the traditional mono green list that's on my website. What's going on, Ectoman? Yeah, I try to hit at least one Hugel After Dark on the weekends. That's true. Prison is a good archetype at tilting people off. If you want to splash white, the canopies are a must-have. If you don't want to splash white, if you want to play the traditional version, they're a little bit less important. You can find, what's it called? The list for the non-white splash version on my website, on the decklist page. If you're not splashing white, you can just replace the canopies with, like, basic forests. Claw of Gix. It seems really narrow. Canonist is great in this deck because you break the parity of it. So Canonist isn't actually rule of law. Canonist says players can only play one non-artifact spell per turn. So this is a deck that gets to break the parity on that card by still playing multiple spells in a turn while Canonist is in play, which is pretty appealing. Lets you bring it in places like Snapcaster Mage decks where it can be a little bit middling in other decks, but because it's like one-sided, it's fine. Yep. Card deck is named after lands and other spells. Yeah, I agree, New Genesis. I've liked the white splashes felt reasonable in the past. Like, even the mono green list plays Horizon Canopies just to cycle through them anyways. And you play Mox Opal, which gives you white mana as well. So basically the cost of the white splash is that you need to play some Razorverge that gets over some additional basic forest that you could otherwise be playing. This is a matchup where we do wish we had more Damping Spheres and less other cards. I think I just play Ravager here. I guess I could also Stirrings into Animation Module and then Ravager the following turn. Nah, I'm just going to do this now. Our opponent mulled to 3, so they're going to, like, play Oblivion Stone and crack it on turn 4. Tron, yep, just... They mulligan to 3, alright. Yes, they did. Definitely a mulligan to 3. Our draw is pretty aggressive here, though. Arcbound Ravager, Hardened Scales into Ravager into Walking Ballista is, like, really good. Like, next turn we get to go Animation Module into Arcbound Worker, pay 1, make a thing. We might actually have lethal next turn. Alright, are they dead? We actually need to count now and, like, make sure they're dead before I start making plays. So, Animation Module into Worker, into Thing. So, these add 3 artifacts to the table. And each of those artifacts are 6 1/1 counter, or 2 1/1 counters, so that's 6. And then this adds an additional 3, so that's 9. So this turns into 11, which we then move over to Walking Ballista and kill them. So they are dead here. Alternatively, we can also Geth and sack itself to proliferate everything. Yeah, that works too. That's actually more counters, right? So let's just, like, do it to prove a point. Show them how degenerate linear our deck is. Grow, my Grobots, grow! Grow, my children! Kids are all grown up, chat. They're so huge. They're like Xbox huge. Now, we kill them through Spatial Contortion here, because of the way Arcbound Worker works. We actually killed them through Dismember here as well. Do 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 do. This is like a really impressive turn. Just absurdly impressive. Damping Sphere in. I think this deck is very good. I don't even know that it's so secretive that it's very good. There's been a lot of people that have been talking about this deck being good for a little while. I think I just like bring in 2 Damping Spheres and call it a day. Maybe Nature's Claim is worth bringing in here because it kills Oblivion Stone. It's probably worth bringing in because it kills Oblivion Stone. Slide a couple of these into my deck. Module's probably a little bit slow in this matchup. Let's give this a go, see how it feels. 3 claims might be overkill. Yeah, maybe I want 2 in 1 module. Could see that going either way. Pretty easy mulligan here, no second land. Oblivion Stone costs 5 to activate. Would love a second land. Thank you for asking. Storm is 2. Storm is 3. Go. We got you, Techno. We aim to please. Alright, stir a little bit. Guess I'll take another one of those. Hand a little bit less impressive this game. That's true, I did miss a potential storm count there. How do you discern if a card is an intervening if clause? Does it have if in the middle of its statement? Does it say do this thing if this condition is met? The word if generally signifies an intervening if clause. So Spatial Contortion gives the creature minus toughness, so I'm unable to save it with Welding Jar there. For those wondering why I blasted them for 2 instead of playing the using the Welding Jar. If so many copies of the card my deck is named after, chat, how could I possibly be losing? I don't understand. I don't understand. Somebody send help. Help, help. Help. I need somebody. Help. Not just anybody. Help. I need somebody. Help. Help me. Help me. Help me. Arcbound Ravager, essentially lethal on this board. See, Eugene could be a Walking Ballista of their own, potentially. World Breaker. But Walking Ballista is my everything. You're taking my world away from me. You're breaking it in sunder. Is nothing sacred, opponent? I think I just like played this map on one and they're just like, no dog, it's fine. I ain't need this map. I'm just gonna kill you anyways. Stop hitting him! He's dead! Stop hitting him! Still have all these cards in my hand. So silly peasant playing cheap colorless artifact. I'm just gonna like go full linear on the play here. Vixed! 5 months until I can defend the realm, but I'd like my monthly timeout, please. Thank you for the 7-month resubscription there. I really appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me employed here for another month. Yeah, I think this is fine. Hardly ever catch your stream live anymore, so this is a pleasant surprise. I had a question about choosing a modern deck. You always say Phyrexia or play on a free client. I'm not sure where to start with decks. What are a lot of cool and interesting decks? You should just go to my website. My website has a bunch of filters where you can search by archetype or key card name or how competitive the deck is, and you can filter by multiple things on there. Lots of great information to help you kind of discover what's out there. I just watched Jeff play a deck and then spend $200 on it. It's not a good strategy. Hardened Scales is a great draw here. Believe it or not. The real winners are the fan favorites are great. There are a lot of good ones in there. For aspiring spikes that still have a little bit of Ajani in them, there's the high potential decks have a lot of good selections in there. So what? So next turn, I play Hardened Scales. I probably animate both Inkmoth Nexus, and then, gosh, if they don't play a second Tron piece here, they're so dead. They need Nature's Claim, or they're gonna eat it. The play draw thing is too important in Magic the Gathering. I mean, yeah, kinda. It's pretty impotent. I'm gonna animate both of these and then activate Steel Overseer here. So I'm doing this on purpose. The Warhammer game seems super confusing. It's very different. The first time you actually sit down and play a game, it flows very easily. Hearing someone just explain it might be a little bit much. It's free to install on both the Google Play and in iOS App Store. Just give it a kick. I got you, half measures. They've had enough. They've had enough. Yeah, that's exactly Gigo. A lot of games, even like Hearthstone to a degree, and Artifact. We've learned how Artifact works now too. All of these games have a ton of parallels to Magic in a lot of ways, and the Warhammer game doesn't really have a lot of parallels to Magic in it. That's the fact. They're both games that are played with cards is the parallel that they have. But yeah, the gameplay in the Warhammer I found really engaging and interesting, and it's just really unique. I like it a lot. The digital physical integration is A+. Warhammer is called AOS Champions, so if you want to install it from the App Store, search Warhammer AOS Champions. They didn't reveal their hand. What gives? They didn't want to show us their toys this time. What are my opinions on Artifact? It looks interesting. It has a great pedigree behind it. Like, you know, it's being designed by Valve, who like doesn't really make games that flop, since it's being designed by Richard Garfield, who has a lot of winning games under his belt. I think my primary concern with Artifact is that they seem to be focusing really hard on the competitive aspect of the card game. And speaking from experience and just like looking at like what Magic does from a competitive aspect, and even like what Hearthstone does to a degree from a competitive aspect, the money or the popularity to be had in card games is not from the competitive aspect. Card games altogether are a very niche market, and then the competitive market inside of that niche market is even smaller. So, like, even using just my stream here as an example, you know, I focused on playing Magic competitively for a very long time, and, like, you know, never had more than 400 or 500 subscribers. And, you know, here we are taking a more casual and focused on fun approach to it, and I have 4 times that now. Yeah, I am definitely excited for the fact that it's going to have, like, a secondary market, so I can just, like, buy cards that I want. That's one of the things that I really like about the Warhammer game is their digital physical crossover is just like absurd A+. You literally get the best of both worlds with the way their system works. Yeah, generic video games reach a wider audience than card games though. Yeah, that's true. Why they were a Kickstarter though. Like there is no doubt in my mind that Artifact will succeed to some degree. Valve doesn't really make video games that fail. Like they're arguably too big to fail when they want something to work. But again, from a gathering lots of players potential perspective, I think focusing on the competitive stuff kind of hinders that a little bit. So if I do this, yeah, I've bought a bunch of physical Warhammer singles off of Cool Stuff just purely so I could play them online. Will I be streaming Artifact? Yeah. When Artifact releases, I plan to add another 10 to 15 hours of stream time per week because there's definitely the potential that the streaming market for that game could be big. I also had a little bird tell me, though, that people that are currently in the closed beta are going to get a week in advance to stream and make Artifact content before it goes into open beta. So there's also a very real chance that, like, all of the people that are in the closed beta are just going to, like, dominate the streaming market and it'll be impossible to get into. Said what thing, Stuff Next? Artifact is supposed to fully release November 27th, and it's supposed to be an open beta sometime in October. Rumors say like October 12th or so, sometime in that range. We're gonna see how long the Blue-White League takes. Depending on how long the Blue-White League takes, I might do some Warhammer after that. Huh. What am I doing here? I kind of just want to take a land. Oh. Okay, that makes sense, yep. Like Hearthstone is has a very casual focus. That's one of the reasons why it's been so successful. Arcbound Ravager is great. Are they dead? It's always the are they dead count. Probably not. They're at 20. All right, so I'm going to play Arcbound. Nah, I'm just going to play the Ravager out here. I'm just going to do that. Maybe I should wait a turn on this and just like play my other worker this turn. Just to confirm that they're not dead. This is 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I can hit them for this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then I get them for like 14 this turn. So people can't stream the closed beta currently, but people that are currently in the closed beta, I had someone tell me, I don't know if this is true or not, but they told me that the people that are currently in the closed beta are going to get a week to do content with the closed beta before it opens up to more people. How do you feel about the quest system in the digital Warhammer space not being able... I don't know what you're talking about, Silent Spell. The Warhammer game is identical in both paper and digital. Oh, the Warhammer gameplay is identical in both paper and digital. I'm not sure I understand your question. That's true. Yeah, Ugin's pretty bad here. Oblivion Stone kind of destroys us, but I don't think we can really beat an Oblivion Stone, so there's no point in playing around it. Yeah, we are talking about Age of Sigmar Nox. The game's really sweet. I've been playing a bunch of it. I bought into a couple of their starter decks at Gen Con, and I've been playing their digital for a little while now. Perilous Fault. I mean, it's not Oblivion Stone. That's I mean, we still can't beat it, but it's not Oblivion Stone, I guess. It's like a sweet 4th O Stone, right? Or 5th O Stone. I haven't seen that one before. Like usually it's like Ugins and what's the 7 mana sacrifice all colored permanents? So Tron. Yeah, I think I'm just supposed to bring in the Damping Spheres and like trim Basilisk Collar, trim Throne of Geth, and just like linear them in this matchup. I think Nature's Claim is medium. Yeah, this is definitely a matchup where, so like, because we're trying this white splash for the Ethersworn Canonist, we've trimmed Damping Spheres because Aetherform Canonist is like additional land hate. And this is a matchup explicitly where we really kind of hurt for wanting more Damping Spheres. Oh, sweet deck. How good is Basilisk Collar? It's like cute more than anything. It's probably just classified as cute. Rewarding playing / winning games, not having to invest money into. Well, that's why the paper digital crossover is good, Silent Spell, because by giving, they can be generous with the free rewards in the digital client, but people will still be encouraged to spend money in paper because they will likely, there's going to be people that play for free in digital. They're like, oh, I want to play this game in paper too, and then they'll buy paper cards. So I actually think that's really great. So far, it seems like the freebies they've been giving have been very reasonable. Yeah, the Basilisk Collar is a card that's definitely good against like the larger creature decks, right? Like against Delve creatures and Thought-Knot Seers and random stuff like that. Tarmogoyfs. Yeah, I do too, Nox. I streamed a little bit of it using something called Genymotion, which is an Android emulator. So there's a couple of videos of it on my YouTube channel. It's kind of a pain to set up streaming with, but it's doable. But yeah, I've mostly been playing on my tablet. They're supposed to get a PC client at some point. But honestly, I think it's really smart on their part that they're targeting mobile first. I think they definitely stand to capture. There's more people that have time to play a card game like that on their mobile than they do in paper. Yeah, and that's another thing that Artifact's doing that's different, right? Like they're targeting PC first. They're a decent way to play my iPhone version on the PC. I believe the accounts. I don't know how the accounts work offhand. Someone in their Discord might be able to fill you in. I don't want to tell you something that's not incorrect. I would imagine there's a way for the accounts to work cross-platform because like you play cross-platform with each other, but I'm not sure if the cards are shared cross-platform or anything like that. Yeah, correct, Docs. Like the people that talk about like wanting to play Magic on their cell phones or their tablets, like Magic can become unwieldy to manage a board state on like my 27-inch monitor. I can't imagine playing Magic on my cell phone. Isn't Artifact being written in Unity? Or did I mishear that? I could have sworn they said Artifact was being written in Unity, but I also just like might have made that up. I'm told this deck is very bad against blue-white control, but I haven't played that matchup to have experience to know that for sure. It's on some Valve engine. Okay, I guess that makes sense. What if my phone is huge? It's huge. Wait till you see how big my phone is. Yeah. And that's one of the things the Warhammer game does really well. The Warhammer game has a lot of focus on like positioning type stuff, so it's able to have a lot of depth in gameplay but still fit on a phone screen very elegantly. I'm not even talking about this specific version of, like, in general, people that I've seen playing Hardened Scales have all said that the blue-white matchup is hard. Not unwinnable, but hard. I agree that Evolutionary Leap is one of the better cards in that matchup for sure. No, we're gonna play the blue-white control list that top 8 of the SCG Open. You should just install it and play a demo game, Particulate. It comes together a lot more cohesively when you actually just like play the game. No, it's free to start on Mobile Terminator. Obviously, you have to buy cards if you want to play in paper, but... Are they dead? How close are they to dead? So, Inkmoths, these are 2s. This is 2. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm 2 short. I believe I'm 2 short, right? There's the order aggro deck come in place. So the online the marketplace for the Warhammer game is really sweet. The digital only cards are a CCG similar to Hearthstone, but the physical paper cards, when you buy them, you scan the cards that you buy in paper into the digital client. So the same, if I buy a rare in paper, I get that same rare in digital. I scan in the specific card. It's not like Pokemon where, like, when you buy one booster pack and then you get another random booster pack online. The same cards you buy in paper, you also get in digital. As always, remember, if you want to tell me we did something wrong, you got to be constructive and specific about it. If you resell a card, you can unclaim it in digital. So... And if you sell a card to someone and they scan it and you didn't unclaim it, it's going to tell them that you still have it claimed. When you scan a card, it tells you who has it claimed. We could have won if we modulared to Hangarback Walker and usability. Was that true? So we'd be attacking for 2, and then we'd sack. So this is 2. Then I'd have 3, 4, 5, 6 over to here. And then this would have 3, 7, 8, 9. No, I'm pretty sure it's only 9. I'm pretty sure it's only 9. Yeah, the Pokemon Online client is really good. It's actually made by Direwolf Digital, which is the same company that makes what's it called? Eternal Card Game. Oh, I could have sacked it because I wasn't paying attention. I am not a fan of Eternal Card Game from a mechanic standpoint, but from a software standpoint, it is very good software. Alright, well now they're definitely dead. So we do this, and put a counter here. We do this, and put a counter here. Inkmoth is such an absurd card in this deck. Well, you could also, if you're selling them in a store, Applegate, you could have them claimed for your store and then unclaim them as you sell them. LSV works at Direwolf. I have no idea what his position is there. What don't I like about Eternal? Eternal is a game that feels like fast magic that sacrifices strategy for the sake of making the games fit into a 15-minute lunch break. This is a concession lockup. Yep. The opening hand algorithm and how the mulligans work in Eternal are really lazy, in my opinion. Just like why even have it? Like it implements like this awkward deck building restriction. There's other little things that it does that like make the gameplay feel like cheaper Fisher Price magic for the sake of making the games faster. It's like fast magic is the best TLDR of it. It's like if someone took magic and was like, how do we make this game play faster and on mobile well? And like, don't get me wrong, like if you like it, that's great. Yeah. Eternal, if you've played Hex TCG, just copy and pasted Hex's resource system, which is a good resource system to be fair. I actually prefer Eternal slash Hexes slash whoever you want to call it, that resource system to what Magic does. Do I want this animation module? I think I do. It lets me kind of churn stuff out quickly with the Mox Opal. And that's the other thing. It's funny, like, as someone who plays a ton of Magic, when I sit down to play another card game, it's refreshing in a way to not have a game with resource variance. And don't get me wrong, the resource system in Magic is great and it makes for a lot of interesting deck building things, but it's also very frustrating at times, right? So like when I'm playing a not Magic game, I kind of enjoy not having resource variance built into it. So we don't have a Hardened Scales here. No, as an old man who has children and like not copious amounts of spare time, I basically don't touch card games that don't have digital clients these days. Which was one of the reasons I poked my head into the Warhammer game, because it has a really slick digital integration. That's really unfortunate. No, my kids are only 3 and 4.5, so they are not quite old enough to play Magic yet. Reading Comprehension Edition and all that. Yeah, palate cleanser is a good way to put it. Still, like, in the realm of things I enjoy in card games, but just, like, you know, fundamentally very different. So what I want to do with this Ravager, I'm probably just, like, we're definitely sacking it to itself, right? Like, am I just sacking anything else first? No, not really. I'm just, like, putting a counter on a servo. Feels bad, man. If any sort of other follow-up, we probably did here. Which is whatever. We're 3-0 right now, so we're bound to run a little bit bad at some point here. Hopefully we can be a professional and just, like, rip a Damping Sphere. Slow him down a bit. I mean, eight is a big difference. There's a big difference between 8 and 3. Like the amount of like growth that a human being goes through between the ages of 8 and 3 is absurd. So you have to speak clearly and enunciate, chat, to get the cards that you want. You gotta make sure Magic Online understands what you're asking for. Big Daddy 4 Eyes with that brand new Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here this month. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. I appreciate that. So I'm going to play the Throne of Geth here. And then I'm going to sack the Welding Jar to proliferate, which will trigger the animation module and let me make a token. And then I can start sacking the tokens to proliferate and make more things. Tron will never be able to beat this new piece of hate, says increasingly nervous man for the 5th time this year. Yeah, we can continually sack the tokens to basically fog them. Whenever they'd print a new piece of hate, like Damping Sphere or Alpine Moon that just, like, dies to Oblivion Stone, and people would be like, Tron's dead now. It's just like, you don't understand what makes Tron good, friend. Field is pretty good here. She's also had infinitely more spoil cards than Jeff. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I did actually buy trophies. $20 is a steal. Was a steal for that card. I bought my 4 for $80. I'm gonna play them in the release weekend open, and then I'm gonna sign them and sell them to somebody. Give them a poison counter, proliferate them to death? Potentially. We'll see. We'll see what we draw next turn. Yeah, O-Stone. Oblivion Stone is very, very good. The card is absurdly powerful. Just answers such a wide range of things. Yeah, they have Field and Ghost Quarter here, so I'm pretty confident I just want to, like, make a servo token. Just, like, grow this up to a 3/3. He's a real boy. I think Trophy's going to be high. I mean, it's currently higher than 20 a pop. I think it'll be higher than 20 a pop for a while, especially if green and black is playable in standard. What does effective hate like Tron need to look like? The ability to kill them on turn 3. Come on. Come on. Field me. Come on. Come on. You know you want to. Do-do-do-do-do. It's kind of sick that we're, like, in this game, right? Like, I thought we were going to be pretty dumb when they hit this World Breaker, but the Damping Spheres, like, held us in here. I mean, they're definitely going to drop. They're not going to be, like, plus 20 long term. Like, the price on Assassin Trophy long term is, like, maybe look at, like, what Maelstrom Pulse has done. Good. Whatever Maelstrom Pulse is currently priced at is probably about where Damping Sphere will end up. Yeah, cards like a command. Did we mulligan to 5 this game too? Sure, but, like, the problem with blowing up their lands is, like, blowing up lands in Modern is slow and clunky. And effects like Field of Rune and the Trophy, eventually Tron just, like, gets to 6 and 7 lands and just casts their cards. No, I like just playing games. Honestly, I don't think I'd mind, like, being a playtester for new card games and giving feedback that way, but I don't know that, like, designing a game is something that I'd really be interested in doing. I have a good time just, like, hanging out here playing card games. Walking Ballista. That's rude. So they can play Walking Ballista for 2 this turn. Yep. Need to be a little bit conservative with my health total here. Horizon Canopy is kind of chewing into my overall score. So they could, like, shoot this servo, I proliferate with it, make a new one, and then, like, shoot the other one, and they, like, crack me to 3. So they can, like, trade their Walking Ballista for 5 points of damage here, basically. Which probably isn't the Stone Cold worst. See, the problem is better Stone Rains explicitly for non-basic lands punish a lot of mid-range and fair decks, too. Oh, I'm not currently listening to music. I don't have headphones on. I know myself. If I listen to music, I'll be like most streamers. I'll just, like, nod off, humming to whatever I'm listening to instead of talking and engaging with you while I make content. What are we doing? They're like, either their cat knocked their drink over on their keyboard, or they're like weighing, do they want to like trade Walking Ballista for 5 points of damage here? Honestly, it might be worth trading Walking Ballista for 5 points of damage with me having 2 Horizon Canopies in play. I mean, the Wet Ball is the reason we're in this game. It doesn't slam dunk Tron on its own, but it's definitely the reason why we're still just like sitting here playing Magic, which is nice. We definitely would be much worse off without the Wet Ball. Nah, Dredge is a pretty tight deck list, and Dredge isn't really an all-in aggro deck, so I don't think it's interested in like playing Lightning Helix, basically. I don't think very highly of Spirits. I think Spirits is a fine deck. I didn't throw shade at anybody in specific. I said I know myself and that I would get distracted by music. What other people do in Steel is their own business. It's not mine. That's a really good draw. That's a really good draw. Just remember, if you ever go into anybody's archives and their streams are muted for copyright reasons, that means they're streaming stuff that they're not supposed to be streaming. Which is, that's just, I don't want to get into that rant tonight. Just finds fun. It's funny to me that people who are trying to make their living off of making things would steal from other people making things. Just seems like a really crappy thing to do, but maybe that's just me. So, do I want to play Hangarback Walker or Arcbound Ravager here? Do I want to play Hangarback Walker or Arcbound Ravager here? Yeah, we have Slinky. That deck should be on my website, I believe, under fan favorites. Grixis Goryo, as foretold. I think I want to play Hangarback Walker here. I don't have a ton of things to sacrifice to Ravager is the issue. I mean, if they try to kill Hangarback Walker, I just like Throne of Geth it up, right? Oh, Mono Blue. Mono Blue Living End? Yeah, we played that once. I don't think it's particularly good. It doesn't have enough cards to impact the board really consistently enough. Oh, hi, Eaton. Thank you for the 2-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome. I'm going to pay a health and get a token here. If they don't block, I'd have had enough to win. Yeah, but they would block there. I think I just want to like wait a hot second here. Because I can pop the Hangarback Walker here potentially. And then like get going that way. Yeah, Spirits is one of the many decks that's like very reasonable in Modern. Fun fact. If you are playing music in your business, you're supposed to have licenses to do so in a lot of states and a lot of places. Fun fact. My favorite part about streaming on Twitch is how many lawyers and doctors I meet in chat. Just how many people that give me their expert legal opinion without asking for it. They always know what's up. Yeah, I think I'm just untapping here. Don't really have anything I want to sacrifice. When's the next Warhammer stream? I think I'm going to be doing Warhammer every Wednesday. We've not played Andre Strowski's iteration of Bant Spirits. So for the record, the last Blue-White Spirits build we played felt really lackluster, but I've not played Andre Strowski's iteration of Bant Spirits. I'm a lawyer, doctor, and an astronaut. God bless. Warhammer Wednesday does have a good ring to it, doesn't it? So if this Damping Sphere dies at any point, we're dead to the Walking Ballista due to them pumping mana into it. That's a good TLDR, Ian. If you're making money and you're using a thing that you don't own or that isn't explicitly public domain, you should probably be paying royalties. AJC Dude, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here with that. Warhammer will not be replacing Magic content. Warhammer, with a Warhammer card game and any amount that I stream off of it will be eating into my hobby / spare time. We will always have a minimum of 30 hours a week of Magic. So my 9 to 3 for Magic every day during the week is not going anywhere. Yeah. Yep, I plan to add some artifact content too, because artifact content has the potential to like turn into a job. I don't think the Warhammer game will ever be popular enough to like do like what I do with Magic, but like something with artifact could potentially be. Hey, So Damn Bad, thanks for the support. I appreciate that. Thanks for the buck. I think you'll be streaming Magic and Warhammer and Artifact at the same time. No, probably not playing 3 games at the same time. No, like, playing 3 games at the same time sounds difficult. I do know when Artifact releases for streaming, my wife and I have already talked and made plans to like add 10 to 15 hours a week of Artifact on top of my Magic content, so that way I can gauge if there's interest in that game. Yeah, you're not wrong. Some of these, it's funny. We often talk about like the clock differential. This opponent's actually playing pretty quickly. This game's been really complicated. Like normally I'm up like 5 to 10 minutes on clock by now on most people, and like I'm only up like 2.5 minutes on this opponent. We know a bunch about Artifact Bardic. They release full gameplay at PAX. They've released a whole bunch, so I'm gonna sacrifice this. Let's proliferate these. And then do I... Hey, who's Ajani? Thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Am I supposed to crack this here? Cracking this seems good for me, right? I think I'm supposed to crack this and make a bunch of flyers. Andre Strufsky. Go to dailymtg.com and click on the GP Stockholm coverage link. He won the tournament. He also top 8'd the one before that. Yeah, I'm aware the Eldrazi has reach, but I just want to go wide here, right? I just want to go wide here. No, Living End won the SCG. I need to force blocks here, right? If I attack with everything, they're forced to block Arcbound and Servo here. Otherwise, they die. If they have Spatial plus Now, even if they have double spatial here, we should be in the clear because of both Arcbound Worker and Throne of Geth. I think I just, I think I sack this here. No, I should proliferate first, right? I'm gonna proliferate first. And I can go to 5 here at this point. Ransom, it's $4.99 a month for subscriptions, but if your money is tight, you should keep your money. You should keep your money to pay for your things. I appreciate you just being here watching. Thanks for the support. Be responsible. Any dollary dues anybody sending me should be coming out of their entertainment budget, or their which is extra, should be extra money. So now I just pass priority here, right? Just like let them try to kill my things here. Captain Harris, thank you very much for the tier 1 sub there. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. I'm dead to like second Walking Ballista, but like I've always been dead to second Walking Ballista here. If they mess up, I could kill them here. I like them being conservative and just moving to damage there. That makes sense. We're pretty dead to a sweeper at this point though, which sucks. Bardic with the sub gift. Thank you, Bardic. There you go. I appreciate it. So we're trying to dodge sand sweepers and walking ballistas kill us here. Our ballista doesn't even do it anymore, right? They just need like Oblivion Stone. Trying to dodge the O-stones. That does not do it. This was a sick game. The amount of if you're someone who loves counting, this deck is very good at like rewarding you for being able to do small amounts of arithmetic very quickly. Yeah. Yeah, after playing the mono, I know we're 4-0 right now, and this is what's really important. This is a skill that I think a lot of Magic players have a hard time grasping. TCG players in general, or this is like a kind of a human thing even. Even though we're 4-0, we're undefeated in this league. After playing some of these games and like really thinking about like what the cards are doing, I don't think the White Splash is worth it in this deck. I think just like having access to more damping spheres and like what these Dromoka Command and Path to Exiles really do for us in comparison to other things, I think I'd rather just have access to a more consistent core. And it can be tough to like a PRT. Thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Thanks for sending your Bezo bucks this way this month. I appreciate the support. I think it can be tough to like look back on a deck that you've been being successful with and go, you know what? This deck has some issues, or you know what? Even though we won a bunch, I want to change these things and improve it because it wasn't quite where I wanted to be. It's almost free. Maybe the White Splash is fine, and I just don't want to cut Damping Spheres. The White Splash is pretty free. So, like, maybe the Dromoka's commands and the Path to Exiles are, like, worth playing because it's mostly free anyways. I don't know. I, really like playing basic lands. There's so many Path to Exiles and Field of Runes, and we're introducing Assassin's Trophy into the format soon. Having more than 3 basic lands sounds kind of appealing. So adding Gear Up to Aether Grid. I like casting my spells. I don't think Aether Grid really solves problems that this deck has. His deck doesn't have that many lands in it. Tireless Tracker doesn't sound particularly appealing. Yeah, I agree. The six basic lands. I appreciate consistency more than most people. Oh boy, a big cup. Thank you for the biddies, Tino. We've played mono green a bunch in the past. The last time we played this archetype, we played straight mono green. You can find my preferred mono green list, which I just copy people who are smarter than me, so it's Matt Nass's list on my website, as always. So I already have a Steel Overseer. Turn 1 Scalding Tarn makes me think I'm probably going to want to be able to grind. So I think I want to take Animation Module here. What do we think of that? I'm pretty sure it's Animation Module. This card secretly has an absurd amount of grind to it. Just very, very, very good at running people out of the game, just like all of your things turn into more 1/1s. I think if you want grind in this deck, you want Evolutionary Leap. Yeah, Magic's a game that has a lot of variance in it by design. So generally striving to reduce the amount of variance you're going to hit in little spots overall is often ideal. I played Monument Sisters with fetches at GP Hong Kong, and the fetches smelled really smooth. Oh, that's a neat idea. It lets you pick up Mistveil Plains more often. Seems neat. There's 2 modules in this deck list. There's a deck list on your screen via the Stream Decker widget. If you're on mobile, you can type !deck in chat to get a link to the deck list. This could be a Logic Knot here. Definitely want to try and stick both of these under Cryptic Command, though. Yeah, Leap plus Hangarback Walker is quite absurd. Quite absurd. It's another sack outlet as well, which are definitely in the market to be playing. It's stuck here, so if we find some threats, we could be in a pretty good spot. I'm gonna play this for just 1, because this will kick it up to 2, and it'll trigger Animation Module. If they have Cryptic Command here, we'll stick Steel Overseer. Actually, I'll probably stick Throne of Geth, because this just, like, dies to a random Doomblade. Huh, so did they draw Logic Knot for the turn, or did they just choose to not counter these other 2? I'm going to assume they must have drawn Logic Knot for the turn. So I feel like they would have countered Animation Module otherwise. Card's pretty good in this matchup. Yeah, the Matt Nass list that's on my website currently has 2 leaps in it. One in the main and one in the sideboard. It's very reasonable. Gosh, I've been standing for almost 2 hours. Let's sit my large American posterior down for a bit, shall we? Might get fielded off this Horizon Canopy here. Or we're just getting Teferied. I don't know that we're beating Teferi at this point. I assume this matchup is very bad for us, and the lack of Evolutionary Leap's definitely not doing us any favors. Yep. Opponents played this game before. They know exactly which target to prioritize here. Sitting, like many things, is excellent in small doses. Is there... Yeah, Spellskite's probably good. Is Throne of Geth the cut here? I guess Steel Overseer is kind of medium, right? It just, like, dies to all their things. Let's try this. Yeah, the desk that I have, the company that it's run by, is they basically wanted people to advertise their stuff for essentially nothing, which I was like, nope. And then as far as like other standing desk sponsorship companies go, I had a couple reach out, but like their reviews weren't good, and I really didn't want to like buy another desk to like try their products firsthand. And I have a rule about not advertising things I can't use. I actually ordered a second Blue Yeti for the computer upstairs this evening, Bardic. I think I'm going to be doing a regular Wednesday night Warhammer stream on the upstairs computer while Christie's down here playing D&D. So probably about like 8:30, do like 8:30 to 10 or 10:30 or so, hour and a half or 2 hours. Yeah, there's a Warhammer TCG that's released in both physical and digital. It's a lot of fun. There's a tutorial how to play video if you're interested. This start's pretty good. We're a little bit more threat light than traditional Affinity, so like Path to Exiles and Spot Removal kind of pick us apart a little bit harder. If they don't have a Path to Exile, the Hangarback Walker is going to offer us a lot of grind here, but if they do have Path to Exile, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble here. Sweet. Bolting that is good for us. Into a tapped land. God bless. Walking Ballista. Start by attacking for 2 here. I'm pretty sure we're just firmly into can't beat a sweeper range. That's a pretty good draw. Are they dead? If they... I think they're dead. If they go to bolt something here, we kill them. This deck is so great. So this adds 2 counters, which makes a thing, so I pay a mana. And then this sacrifices this, which adds 2 counters, which lets me pay a thing. Both Hardened Scales and Animation Module are fairly new Magic cards, all things considered. I mean, they probably just didn't have outs to not die. Like they can't even cast Supreme Verdict next turn because I just killed them in response then, right? I said relatively. 4 is relatively new, Whippersnapper. Some kids have been playing a lot less long than that. So I want to thank you for the sweet white, blue, Enduring Idealist on your website. I played it in 2 paper PPTQs and it performed quite well. Put this in my tier 3 sub this month towards putting in the queue. Can it beat Tron? I think the Tron matchup's kind of tough. Thanks for the support, Nav. I appreciate it. And I don't think I have any changes to make here. I'm just going to click submit. Oh, you know what? Is Ethersworn Canonist supposed to be in my deck? It probably is, right? It's probably supposed to be in my deck. Steel Overseer is like pretty mediocre. I'm gonna trim this Throne of Geth too. I feel like this is a matchup where I'm supposed to have this card. I actually think Ajani's got some really... Thanks for the content as always. Thank you for the bits, Armored Shoes. I appreciate the support. Ajani has way more synergy in this deck than Karn. It's card advantage, and it adds power to the table. The blue-red tempo deck's a lot of fun. Does iced tea go bad if it sits at room temperature for too long? What's the verdict? Does it go bad if it sits at room temperature for too long? Well, it's not sweet tea. It's unsweetened black tea. It's probably been sitting there like a week. It smells kind of rank. All right. We're not gonna risk it, chat. We're not gonna risk it. It ferments. My body is ready for the D-Sphere or an Engineered Explosives. The payoff is low. Risk to reward is not stellar. They have Stony Silence. Be very quiet. Oh, I boarded in Dromoka's command. I didn't board in Nature's Land, but I boarded in 2 Dromcoms. It ferments. For the non-science nerds, remind me what ferment means. It means it turns into alcohol, or am I making that up? That sounds silly. Am I just supposed to pass here? They shocked. Which probably means Cryptic Command. I want to play Spellskite out. You know, if I'm going to do another league, I have frozen alcohol in my freezer in the other room. Do I want frozen alcohol before the blue-white league, chat? I feel like drinking before I play blue-white control is an appropriate response. Have to get to work early, so I can leave earlier for a doctor's appointment. So I'll be working on little sleep for a long shot. I do have to work in the morning, chat. I do have to work in the morning. If I drink while we play blue-white, I can use that as an excuse for when we make mistakes, right? That's very sad for me. gonna get Cryptic Commanded out of this Hangarback Walker and feel, ooh, piece of candy. Discord also works for sending me links to things, Shaman. No, I was sitting on Hangarback Walker because I was pretty sure they had Cryptic Command because they shocked in their 4th land. Your employer is encouraging you to drink on the job. I'm gonna, again, lead on this to beta counterspell here. I would rather this get countered than this get countered. Deal. Animation module is very good. And they're at 1 card here, right? Like, our deck just, like, is turned off because of Stony Silence. Like, we're still just, like, kind of sitting here playing Magic. Because, like, Hardened Scales and Animation module. Deal. Yeah, Stromcom would be absurd. I can't sack an artifact. There's a Stony Silence in play. They can't play Gearhulk, chat. They have Stony Silence. Gearhulk's an artifact. Come on now. Jeez, Twitch chat. Don't you know anything? I got a couple people there. There are a couple people in chat who have been got. Yeah, you keep playing them lands, you big scary blue-white opponent, you. I ain't scared. I ain't scared. Come at me. Poker face, poker face. My. Do. We have assembled Mox Tron. Yep. That's true. That's true. I like how we were out of Moxin, so my deck's like, yo, dog, I got you. What if I give you this backup Welding Jar? This backup 0 mana card? Ah, punted. Didn't play out the Welding Jar to protect. Can I take a second to complain that since we're going back to Ravnica, SCG has replaced all 2-color combinations with their guild names again? So instead of U-White control, everything's labeled as Azurius control. And it's like, is it wizards and stuff like that? Can I just like be a curmudgeon for a second and say I hate change? Yeah, so I don't know. The white cards in general are interesting. I don't think I like giving up Damping Sphere in the sideboard for the sake of adding the white cards. I do really like the idea of Dromoka's command, though, especially in a matchup like that where this card can have text even when they don't draw their Stony Silence, and then when they do draw their Stony Silence, it's very good, right? So I think if I wanted to play the White Splash, I would get up to four Damping Spheres in the 75. I'm also unsure if cutting Evolutionary Leap is the right direction to go, just because people love their Hallowed Fountains. That card is very good in a grindy matchup. Speaking of grindy matchups, I assume we're gonna lose some people here, but I'm gonna go get some alcohol. I'm gonna go get some alcohol before we play this. I'm gonna put this bad Mamma Jam up on the screen for folks here really quick. Premium. It isn't actually a premium. It's an alcohol slushy. They're great, and I will be right back. It comes in a pouch. It's wonderful.